on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? We are 10 days away from Alabama football. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. Got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to go over every single thing that Ryan Grubb said, play a couple player highlights from yesterday's practice, which was on Tuesday. Today you hear from Kane Womack. A lot of moving pieces as we continue to inch towards the college football season, probably like a 30-yard field goal out from the season. Maybe closer than that. I don't know. But we are here. We are moving forward. And I saw what you guys just posted inside the comment box. Did you guys see that highlight reel that Alabama just posted on their social media account? If you haven't yet, go watch it. It literally will fire you up. And if you were kind of a little low this morning, that could be your coffee, because it's a social media post on Alabama social media channels, and it kind of who saw it? Thumbs up if you saw this already. I just saw it maybe like 15 minutes ago, and it's kind of showing like practice, and people are like talking trash in the background about Alabama, like some preseason, rat poison, or reverse rat poison rather. And then it kind of flips the script and is like, stop playing with my Alabama. And then it goes to Coach Kalen DeBoer right here, who's absolutely fired up. There's a video of this. You got to see it. And he's like, let's go. And then it shows this one. Look, Coach Kalen DeBoer, he means business, man. He's standing on business right now. So it goes to like Coach Kalen DeBoer getting the guys fired up in the locker room. And then it shows some quick shots of a lot of the different players. So you got Damani Jackson right here. This is kind of from their media day, but they pipe it in, and it's like quick action shots of each of the guys. It's really well done, honestly. I think this is probably some of their best work yet. So credit to their graphic department, because it was pretty stellar. And then it goes to this is obviously who we got here, right? And then you got Ty Simpson. But the thing I was looking at with Ty Simpson, man, and I don't think we've like really hit on this, but Ty Simpson's jacked. I don't think that video made it to YouTube, but the way I saw it on X, Twitter. I just saw it like, I don't know, like I said 20 minutes ago. Ty Simpson's like low-key jacked. So go check it out. But I think my point is, and good morning to everybody out there that is just joining in. I appreciate you guys being here so much. But the point is, like, we're here. These guys are dialed in. And I keep taking away this from like Monday night from that player question and answer, is like, talk is talk and action is action. And I think we're about to see that action put into place here on August 30th. We have to. And the thing that is so exciting, and I think we're anticipating most, right, is the fact that like this team, they want to prove that they can uphold the standard, kind of rebuild the standard, and that maybe that the standard didn't even go anywhere to begin with. Like, that was a transition year, but like the brand is still here, right? The players are still here, and I mean it's still an iconic program. It's like, but I think fans are so excited just to kind of, because they're encouraged to get where we want to go, right? And man, you've seen all the biggest hitters in college football starting to have much more confidence in Alabama football. I think one that's really headlining, outside of our organic show where we just, talk Alabama football, we talk about, news and notes and players, because we're always talking Alabama football, right? But I think when you start to see somebody that's as dialed in as like a Josh Pate, picking Alabama to win the SEC title, talking about that they have the components to win a national title. These are people who are certainly dialed in, that visit around, programs around the country. And I think people are starting to really recognize that this is a serious team with a lot of different components. And we can all talk about the defense and the too deep on defense. We could talk about the playmakers on offense. So there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. And today on the show, we'll play Ryan Grubb. And if you're new to the show and if you're out there listening, what we usually do is we let the press conference kind of sit, and then we play it here. I'll turn down the music, and I'll help you guys, kind of reiterate what the reporters were asking. And then I'll let Ryan Grubb speak, and then we'll show some player highlights from practice as well. So Yeah, that's what we'll do on the show. And then at the tail end of the show, I'm going to open up the show for your guys' questions. So if you have questions, or if you guys just have comments, you want to make a bold prediction, something's been on your mind, you want to talk about Alabama football, we'll do that on the back end of the show. So that's how we'll rock with it today. And let me start out there. I love this photo right here. Actually, I like this photo too of Kalen DeBoer. All right, before I give some shout outs, this is our raffle today. We got a Hesse College hoodie, collegiate hoodie by Roback. This is the first time we went through Roback. The thing I liked about Roback is sometimes when I go to Team Fanatics or Athletes Thread, they don't always have the specific sizes that we're looking for, right? So this is, sometimes Coach Kalen DeBoer wears this. I've seen him wear this a couple times for some interviews. As you know, Roback, this is high quality. So it's $10 to get in. You can get up to 3 times. The way to do it on Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. So if you're watching on the rewatch, we'll let this run out for a couple days before we spin the pinwheel. And as always, super chats are also included in that. So Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. And obviously, thanks to our friends at Sonic in West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 hit. We appreciate you guys being so nice to us this summer. Thank you so much. All right, let me give some shout outs and then we'll get into Ryan Grubb, who I'm so excited about. I mean, every single person that I talk to, that I run into, I always, I'm so excited about what he's going to bring to the table. Frank leading off with the super chat, man. What's up, man? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good morning, Max Tooney. Thank you for being here as always. Perfect attendance. You got Young C up in here. We got Alyssa, huge Alabama football fan. Jeff, what's up, man? Jeff looks like he's going to catch on the rewatch. That's cool with us. Ruben Poole, strong supporter. About to get an Alabama tee, which he won in the raffle a couple days ago. It was funny. So Aaron, so Ruben Poole emailed me. So after you win the raffles, you email me and we have a little bit of dialogue. And Aaron said she is hilarious. She was like, I was watching it on the rewatch and she was cooking and she dropped her spatula because she won. So congratulations to our recent winners, and whoever gets that Roback one will be rolling as well. Robert Bradley Jr., what's up? I appreciate you. Kaylin Childress, roll tide to you. Ruben's talking about the hype video. Kevin Lynch, what's up, man? We got Randall from the 501. Chris Waltman, always up in here. Kalen DeBoer. Mike from Austin. What's up, Mike? Good to see you, man. We got Saya RTR. What's up? Hunter, good morning. Jimmy. Oh, we got some friends from Florence. Florence is beautiful. Yo, Florence is very, very beautiful. All right, we got Stanford Mom. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. Beth James, what's up? Josh Miller, Amanda Jane. Brock saying RTR. The champ, what's up, the champ with 420? All right. Aaron's laughing. That just made me laugh so hard because you know me, I'm living in the kitchen. So it was like, my cooking, I can't stop cooking. It is crazy. I'm cooking like all the time now that school started. It's Chef Foyer Henderson. Ricky Smith is saying coffee into beef jerky. Yo, that's some cowboy. That's cowboy life. I love it, man. Please tell me you're riding a horse somewhere watching Bama football on YouTube. Kyler, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Rolling in from North Carolina. Ooh, North Carolina is some good living. We'll probably run this raffle, through the next couple days. We'll probably spin it like Monday. So we got plenty of time. So you want to get on in. Yo. What's up, Marvin? Appreciate you. Marcus Caldwell is just bringing the fire. You guys feeling good? It's Wednesday. Wednesday's a good day. I've never been mad at hump day. You can get mad at Monday. Tuesday kind of feels like it drags a little bit. Wednesday, nobody's mad at Wednesday, I don't think. All right, let's play some assistant coach Ryan Grubb, his press conference yesterday. Give me 1 second. Coming up next, offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. All right, here's a Grubb, and I have to preface this by saying The reporters aren't given microphones, so don't get mad at anybody. That's just the way that the press conferences work right now. So if you can't hear them, I can usually hear them from the headset that I wear. So I'll kind of lead you away as we go through Ryan Grubb, and I'll pause it, point out some things that might have made my ears perk up. So let's go over it right now. Here's Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator from yesterday, talking about Alabama's offense.
I'm ready.
You got another starter you can name for us? Or?
No.
Do you have another starter you can name for us?
Nope. Parker Brailsford. He's going to start.
Coach, with you being here with a different kind of quarterback, will the offense look drastically different than, say, last year?
With the new quarterback here this year, will the offense look drastically different from last season?
Or are there any other factors?
I mean, that's kind of the obvious one, right? Is like we're not necessarily a Jalen Milroe offense right now. Just Jalen was a super talented runner, and that was probably a part of the game plan every week, and which was smart last year by the offensive staff. So I think that's probably the biggest difference.
Yeah, talking about the difference from last year to this year, and he clearly points out Jalen Milroe, and a lot of people were talking about that quote specifically because, look, last year was polarizing. You had somebody who could clearly win games just by his athletic ability and the things that he did. And he says that was smart. You got to, somehow make a game plan for Milroe. But I think as we move past that, I think the short answer and what he's directly saying is, yeah, it's going to be different because you have more elements to work with rather than just one guy that you can feature. So I think that's probably one of the big. When I say Ryan Grubb, 3 reasons why Alabama is going to be better, right? Defense, new quarterback, and Ryan Grubb. But Ryan Grubb specifically, I think he'll do a great job bringing that offense together and getting the ball to different players that you could feature throughout the game. And I think that's going to be really challenging for opposing defenses. Even when you go into this first game against Florida State, and I've been very open about talking about this, is that first game, I think that just because it's week 1, I wouldn't be surprised that the first half, it's a little bit closer than we anticipate. But I think as you make moves and you play kind of the schematic chess game in the second half, I think Ryan Grubb being able to figure out and take a real look at Tony White's defense, that's where you'll see the separation from Alabama to Florida State. Plus, I think, depending on how Alabama runs the football, maybe, you get up and you start giving a heavy dose of Daniel Hill, something like that. You got a lot of weapons to work with is my point, rather than just riding on the coattails of somebody who is just super athletic like a Jalen Milroe. But I think this year you're going to have so many weapons that it's going to be very difficult for any defense to have to deal with for 4 quarters. Something about the running back distribution, I couldn't even really hear the question, to be honest.
I think it's, we got to see a lot here in the next week or so to see who can handle the game plan, who's the most responsible with all their duties.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes that's the thing right now is you have 10 days to really gauge that running back room. Not about like who can physically run the football, because clearly each of those running backs is capable to run. Come on, they're here at Alabama, but which running back can execute the game plan to the highest level? Is it a combination of running backs? Is it one running back? And I know that, the running back room is really deep here, but there's more than just running the football, right? There's pass protection, there's catching the football, there's different assignments that these running backs have to go over. So who is capable to be more consistent? Kind of just like what we were looking for from the quarterback standpoint, but thumbs up inside the comment box if you feel that Richard Young is going to do his thing. Look, We've talked about Richard Young since last year, and you always have to be ready when your name is called. And we're not dissing on any of the other running backs, but look, Richard Young is a very, very capable running back, and I think more of the world of college football is about to find out about Young in due time, and really a easy running back to get behind because he's downhill, he's got a little bit of shake to him. So really excited about seeing Richard Young and these opportunities coming up. And of course, Daniel Hill and maybe Jalen Washington. Who knows? I have no idea, but at least, from what we understand, the first guy out the gates is going to be Richard Young.
What have you seen from that group so far?
What have you seen from the running back room so far, minus Jan Miller?
Running back group? It's a broad question. Seen a lot. Daniel Hill has done a good job providing a lot of protection, and I think he's gotten a lot better at that as far as with his eyes. He's a super physical guy, I think Daniel has started to run like the back we saw in the spring. Early in camp, I thought he was a little bit slow to come to that. Dre has great vision running the football. He improves every day still. I think some of the pass protection responsibilities are things that probably were not in his wheelhouse prior to getting here. Kevin Riley has started to show up a little bit. He's a guy that has really nice vision. Not as big a back as the other guys, but runs very physical and is really good out of the backfield.
Yeah, just kind of an overview of the running back room right there. And as he said, Kevin Riley's kind of coming along. Daniel Hill starting to run like we saw him in springtime. I guess they saw good things from him. So, yeah, but look, I'm not sugarcoating things. And because I think sometimes you get to any channel that covers one particular team and it sounds like everything is perfect. I do want to bring this up, okay? This comment I do feel is good. Look, I feel that Jam Miller, like Jam was the man, right, when he's here. Clearly, Ryan Grubb said that. And he still is. But these other running backs, they don't have a lot of experience. Now, I get it. You do have Draylen Washington, who has 1,300 all-purpose yards and who has played a good amount of time. Not at Alabama. Not at this level of play. There's a big difference from, playing at Louisiana to playing at Alabama, okay? So, look, Richard Young has spot played in time where it wasn't the starters. Daniel Hill came in against, a time when it was against Western Kentucky. So nobody is trashing the running backs, but these guys are going to get an early chance to grow up. I mean, you have to grow up at some point, but look, there's a big difference. And look, this is facts. There's a big difference between Jam Miller, a returning 3-year running back, and Richard Young. There just is. That's why he's the starter and Richard Young's behind him. That's not dogging Richard Young. He's capable, doesn't have the experience. These guys are going to get the experience, but that is going to play a factor. Now, it is Ryan Grubb's responsibility, just like Robert Gillespie, to be able to get these guys up to speed over these next 10 days. No one anticipated Jam Miller to be out. Like, this is a big loss. Can Alabama move past it? Clearly, right? And I'm still taking them by 2 touchdowns. But I'm just saying, these are the facts. It's just like that Jam Miller's the guy, okay? And we're about to find out if these other running backs are prepared. And I have confidence that they will be because, we've seen them spot play, a couple times last year. Here we go with Grubb.
What have you seen from Richard?
Tight end room?
What have you seen from the tight end room?
A lot of guys, Danny and Josh are doing a great job as the older guys, getting a lot of reps. Caleb has shown up, shown to be more physical. That was one of the things I think was going to be the biggest challenge for him initially, making the big jump from high school ball to this. Jay Lindsey is super dependable as a guy that's shown up to be able to be a guy with his hand on the ground, can be a move player for you, and certainly has provided a lot of depth for us.
Yeah, talking about the tight end room here, he's not asleep. That's just a pause. I've heard, it sounds like Caleb Edwards, which is kind of surprising to me, not in a way that I didn't think he was ready, but it sounds like Caleb Edwards might get some reps with the ones, and that's early on. This is a guy, and what's impressive about this, I'm not overly shocked when a guy who's a true freshman comes in the springtime and he's able to get reps with the ones during the season because they've had such a long time to get here. But Caleb Edwards just got here in the summertime, and he added on weight. He's like 265 pounds. So I'm excited because I've been riding on Marshall Pritchett, and he got here in springtime, and he was banged up during that point in time. Talking about the tight ends, Josh Cuevas is here. Danny's, those are going to be your first time guys there. So yeah, the tight end room, I'm curious about it. I haven't heard a lot about the 2 transfers, right? How they're kind of fitting in, Brody Dalton and Jack Samarco. But he did mention, that Jay Lindsey looks dependable. So that's your tight end room. I continue to challenge the tight ends, right? Is there going to be a guy that's a playmaker in that room? Is it going to be more pass protection, maybe some goal line stuff? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. And how is Ryan Grubb going to utilize the tight ends this season? We're about to find out.
How is he progressing?
Richard Newton.
What have you seen from Richard Young?
Richard Young.
Oh, Rich Young?
Yeah.
I thought you said Richard Newton. I was like, wow, that was our running back in Washington. So Rich Young, real similar running backs, by the way. Rich has been super physical and has been a guy the last 2 scrimmages, I thought, when we need a little bit of a spark to pop a, run right up the middle and finish it. He's done a great job. He's worked really, really hard at becoming a better player out of the backfield, has gotten better at that. Very responsible. He cares a lot. He's tough, physical, and we love him.
There you go. I mean, that's a hell of an update. Coming from somebody that I don't think messes around much and doesn't make you kind of wonder a lot. Honestly, it's kind of been refreshing to hear from Ryan Grubb. He speaks with authority, and it doesn't seem like he, sugarcoats things. It seems like he's pretty direct. Would you agree with that? It sounds like Ryan Grubb is really direct and honest with his assessment of the players, which I really appreciate. Getting to hear from the, assistant coaches is great. And this is something that we never heard from under Coach Saban, right? It was just Coach Saban. And every once in a while you hear from the OC or DC, but you get a weekly opportunity to hear from the OC and DC here. And sometimes the other assistant coaches as well will speak depending on the media opportunities. But look, he just gave you a good update about Richard Young and says that it sounds like, he's ready and capable to be the guy. So not surprised to hear that.
What were your impressions of Ty in the second scrimmage?
What were your impressions of Ty Simpson during the second scrimmage?
Ty, I think, was 12 of 15 or with 2 drops. I thought
12 of 15 with 2 drops.
He was very controlled, distributed the ball right where it was supposed to be. I thought his eyes were in the right spot. I thought he was very disciplined. We were trying to put him in some spots in the fringe and things like that to see how he'd respond and make sure he takes care of the football, keep us in field goal range, all those things. And I thought he responded really, really well. Had calm demeanor when it was good and bad. There was a couple flows there. We started out really fast again and did a nice job. And when we hit a little bit of a lull, I thought he was there to respond.
Yeah, really good update right there from Ryan Grubb. Nothing, that we kind of didn't hear kind of from the Nuggets regarding Ty Simpson, but he continues to have positive updates about the progression. Shoot, we're 10 days away. You better have confidence in your quarterback, especially the one that you're going to put out on the field. We've talked about, we haven't talked about this, and maybe we'll have a more official show where we talk about some numbers kind of over under, but this just came to me. How many passes did you think that Ty Simpson throws in week 1? Just off the top of your head, honestly. In Wade's world, I agree with you, dog. 100%. There's a lot going on with Ryan Grubb's press conference. It's just being honest. My job is to be honest. This is honest. This is an honest take. All right. Let me ask you, how many passes do you think that Ty Simpson throws for against Florida State? Have we thought about that? Or how many yards? Mike G saying. Mike and Austin saying 25 passes, 30 passes. It's always tough to gauge the over-under for passes. You ever played pick, was it like a prize pick 'em? All right, so you got 23, 25, 32, 20 to 30. Over 25, right? I think I'm going over 25, right? I'm going to say over 25 passes for Ty. Over 30, I don't know that. Does he throw for over 30 means that Alabama's having to throw the ball, I think, right? I'm going to say over 25 for sure. I don't know, under 30. Patriot Life in. What's up, dog? Okay, so now we got the passes. How many yards? You think 25 passes? Maybe 21 completions? Does he go 21 to 25? Does he go 19 to 25? That kind of sounds realistic. 19 to 26, right? What? Over 250? All right, something 275, 235, 285, okay. A 1,000,000% over 225 yards, right? I think if he throws for under 225 yards, either, Alabama got up early and kind of, took the air out of the football or something went wrong. I would be surprised if it's under 225 yards. So I'm going, this is my take. I'm going, let's see, over 25 passes, and I'm going over 225 yards. And I'll do two touchdown passes too. 2 touchdown passes and 1 rushing. So I got tied for 3 touchdowns, over 2.5 scores. All right. All right, we got 300. Oh, man, 300. Yeah. I think that's realistic. I'm probably not, taking it. I just don't, who the hell knows in week 1? 225 kind of sounds light, though, considering the weapons, right? I'll take the over 250 yards in the first game. Over 250. So I'm saying over 25 passes and over 250 yards. There you go. And 2 touchdown passes and 1 rushing. All right, let's continue.
Other quarterbacks as well in the scrimmage.
What have you seen from the other quarterbacks as well during the scrimmage?
Austin started really, really clean, had a really nice touchdown drive to start. Keelan was doing the same, marched down the field. We had a couple hiccups up front there that put the ball backwards a little bit, but I thought initially in the scrimmage, all 3 of the guys played really, really clean, accurate throws, pushing the ball down the field when they could, and were smart with their checkdowns.
We heard the noise today when we were out there. How do you think the team did deal with that as y'all begin to prep the first program?
Talking about noise, I guess, being simulated at practice, I guess the team reporters heard piped in noise. I like this question because remember when these guys went down? This was something that the coaching staff didn't really have experience with last year. And I knew this would come into play is when they went on the road to like Tennessee, when they're piping in the fake. This is real, right? The fake sound noise is real. I've been to Rocky Top. I was in the press box. So I didn't, couldn't really hear the piped in sound. It wasn't last year. This was many years ago. But you have to be ready for being on the road, making audibles at the line, right? The stadium pulse, just like NCAA the video game. By the way, you can't even audible on that game, which drives me crazy because I like to come up to a line, look at the coverage and make adjustments, but you can't when you're on the road. Here's what Ryan Grubb said considering crowd noise being implemented at practice.
Just like any time. I mean, this was the first time we worked it hard, so a lot to improve on there, of course. I think anytime you start really getting that in where you're running plays and using motions and all those things, like there's some bumps on it. I thought they did better as they got more used to it in practice, and we'll continue to work it. That's something that obviously we'll have to be ready for.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not at that point. I would imagine that starts either today or these next couple of days where you really start to simulate the crowd noise and, rotating of plays, talking to their quarterback, which I'm sure they do every single day. But that is going to play a role because, look, say what you want. It's kind of, I don't know who believes this, but I think there's some people that believe that, like, Florida State won't be, like, sold out, that people won't be, like, into that game. This is Florida State's chance to resurrect their entire, not even their football program, like their school, right? This is like their one chance. If they were somehow to land a lucky punch and beat Alabama, oh my goodness. You think hearing about Texas every single day is maddening? Just wait what will happen over there. We heard it before. We've seen these guys go undefeated and we never heard the end of it. And the thing is, ESPN, they love Florida State headlines when they're positive, okay? So that'll be piped down our throats all the time, just like Texas. But I don't think that happens. But what my point is, it's going to be loud. I mean, it's going to be hot. There's a lot of different elements that we also have to look at just based on, Alabama being a better football team. Road game, hot as hell, loud as hell. Florida State's the huge underdog, all that sort of stuff. I think we just have to think about as well.
Cam and Gino doing at guard, and how comfortable would you be rolling out there with them if Jaden's not back in time?
Very comfortable. Those are two.
Talking about the offensive line, if Jaden isn't good to go, do you have confidence in the 2 guards, Cam Dewberry and Gino Vandermark?
Veteran players, very versatile too. They can both play left or right, so they're interchangeable. But Cam brings a lot of physical presence to him. Gino is a savvy player that knows how to connect with his center.
I mean, Jaden Roberts was held out of this scrimmage again. He hasn't played in any scrimmage. I don't know if the concussion held him out of the first one, but it held him out of the second one. Okay, so Jaden Roberts, this is a guy who dealt with injuries last year and a concussion. He's going through protocols right now. He was asked about the 2. The one, look, obviously the guy has to get healthy. We don't want anybody going out there if they're dealing with anything up top, especially, right? But the great thing about Alabama's depth, I don't know how the depth is at the tackle position. I really don't. Behind Thornby, it looks like it's probably going to be a freshman, either Michael Carroll or Jackson Lloyd. Those guys haven't played yet. They just got here. But at the guard position, you have really 3 starters. Cam Dewberry, who transferred in from A&M, and you have Gino Vandermark, who transferred in from Michigan State. This is second year. So those guys can be interchangeable at either right guard or left guard. So if Jaden Roberts can't go, those guys can be swapped in, and they're good. Like they're not just average; they're really good guards. So clearly he's confident in his guard play. If Jaden Roberts can't go, I would imagine Jaden Roberts is good to go for Week 1 against Florida State.
What will your offense miss without Jam Miller, and what have the conversations been like with him? How's he kind of holding up after these?
What will the offense miss without a player like Jam Miller in Week 1 going into this opener?
Jam is he's such a stud. I mean, he is he'll be a value to our team no matter what right now, just because of his demeanor and leadership. So I think that's one of the things you miss on the field right away is just him being out there. There's a presence to him when he's on the field, so we'll certainly miss that. His explosiveness, his running style, all those things will be missed. But he's been great. I think he's in high spirits. He knows this is a temporary setback, and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that he's continued to say about Jam Miller, even before, because, I post videos, and there's a video that I posted, it's a short video, talking about Jam Miller, rightfully so. And people think that I posted it after, or that I didn't know that he got hurt, because they're like, he's not playing. I get it. People watch videos at different times, whatever. But the one back that he's been let me ask you this, trivia question. This is fall camp trivia. What was his first quote this year when asked about Jam Miller? Trivia. I'll give you 20 seconds. Ryan Grubb was asked, hey, coach, what are your thoughts on Jam Miller? A couple weeks ago before he got hurt, what did he say inside the comment box? All right. And you guys probably, someone's going to get it inside the comment box. But he simply said, Jam is the man. Just like I've been saying. I've been one of the only guys to be talking about Jam Miller for such a long time. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. The guy is the baller. He's the most underrated running back, I think, in college football. He was about to show out why. And he will when he comes back. So Ryan Grubb clearly thinks the same thing, and he's got to get these other running backs up to speed. I think they're in the process of doing that, and I have confidence in those running backs. But that's what he said. Kings Family React, you get it, bro. You got the trivia for today. He said, Jam is the man, 100%. All right, we continue.
Ryan spoke to the tight ends last week during open availability. Josh mentioned that you're going to be using them in unique ways. What does that look like from an offensive standpoint?
Question about the tight ends and something about Josh Cuevas.
Man, a lot of things I can't talk about. I don't know. I don't know. I've just always felt like the tight ends were the equalizer. They're the guy that can change the box count. They can manipulate what the defense thinks as far as how many people they have to have relevant to the run fit. So I think that the guys realizing that they're always part of that and how they can manipulate that for us is truly unique.
How close are Josh and Danny?
And a lot of questions about the tight ends. This next question sounds like it's about Josh and Danny, but he said that the tight ends can be difference makers. Do we have, guys on the you know what I'm going to say. Do we have guys there that can be impact players at tight end? That's a question. That's one of my I'm going to put some questions before the game, and then after the game we'll answer those questions, and it's going to be like, do we have a tight end that made a defense uncomfortable? Let me ask you this, honestly, inside the comment box, just real to real, you don't have to sugarcoat it with me. Do you think that Alabama right now on its roster has a tight end that can make a defense uncomfortable for 4 quarters? Even for, I don't know, let's put it like that. For 4 quarters, do you feel that Alabama right now has a tight end that can cause you problems? I think the jury's still out on that at that point, if you ask me. So for right now, I would say no. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It kind of sounds like Caleb Edwards is a freshman that's coming in as a dog, right? But until we see, that's like talk. We got to see action from it. What's up to MT? MT's asking a question. At the end of this video, I'm going to have a question series where we just kind of some open dialogue. So if you want to throw it on the board, come back here in a few minutes. I think that's a good question. A lot of people have been talking about that. It doesn't necessarily – there's a couple ways to look at that. Let's see what people are saying about the tight ends. Lee's saying Cuevas. All right. Does any team have a tight end that can cause problems for a whole game? Okay. Seldomly, right? Like Brock Bowers was a guy that came in and could make you uncomfortable. But I actually like that. Does any team, right? Maybe you just need a tight end that can come in certain situations rather and make you uncomfortable. I like that. And Brock Bowers, there's probably another couple tight ends out there that fit that mold, but it is rare, right? Let's see. Marshall and Caleb, too early to tell. Let's see. The other, I believe, maybe Danny Lewis. Man, Danny's been here a long time, man. We just haven't seen a lot from him. Lindsey is overwhelming so far. O.J. Howard was way underutilized. A lot of people have confidence in Cuevas. Me too. It is something to think about, right? And we're about to find out. All right, we continue with Ryan Grubb.
100%.
Talking about Danny and Josh, I think being close to 100%.
I mean, they're out there, they're practicing, so to me, they're 100%. They don't have yellow jerseys on, they're rolling. I think, they're both repping quite a bit, honestly. Like, at one point, they're only at like 20 reps. They've went way past that to where, I don't feel like there's any limitations.
So why he answered that is I think there's been a couple times where Josh Cuevas and Danny Lewis, the two upperclassmen in that room, have kind of been held off to the side or haven't been doing the other reps from what the reporters have seen. But as you just heard from the offensive coordinator, those guys are practicing, so that means they're 100%. Otherwise, they wouldn't be practicing in whatever situational drills that Coach Grubb had them in. So looks like that room is healthy.
Cole is a really savvy route runner. He knows how to get in and out of breaks, understands how to play off the leverage of defenders, read coverages, and in the last week and a half probably has made more contested catches than anybody on the team. And that's one of the things I don't think you would necessarily think from a guy that's a little bit smaller in stature, but he's very competitive when the football's in the air.
Man, that's a hell of an update on Cole Adams, right? We heard that, I guess, in week 1, the scrimmage, he made this incredible play. And just as you heard right here, he said that he's made more contested catches than anybody on the team. Yo, Cole Adams, can I get a thumbs up for Cole Adams? It's hard to get overlooked in this wide receiver room. It just is. I mean, you got NFL guys all over the place. Cole Adams is probably an NFL guy, okay? Plays really big. The guy's tough. He's dependable. Sounds like, right, it is. This might cause a war, and I'm asking this, okay? Do you think that Cole Adams might have the 4th most receptions on the team? All right, I know that you just might have got mad at that, but Ryan, Jeremy, Isaiah, Cole, I bet you, if these guys stay healthy, it'd be interesting to see who has more catches this year, Cole or Rico Scott. And you're like, oh man, Rico's way better. They're different wide receivers. They are kind of interchangeable. A lot of these receivers are. Cole's more of a slot, right? So you can slide him in, and you can do more crossing patterns or different things with Cole. Rico's fast and vertically, he's going to challenge you, right? I don't know. That's interesting to think about. Who do you guys think? Who do you think has more catches this year? Cole Adams or Rico Scott? Sound off right now inside the I don't know. Or Jalen Hale's in there too. I'm just saying the depth of the wide receiver is crazy. We're not even talking. We haven't really heard much about Bubba Hampton. Jalen Mbakwe is in there somewhere. Derek Meadows is also in there. So I don't know. Maybe Cole Adams is being slept on. And super impressive update, to be honest.
There's going to be a lot of eyes on, obviously, Ryan Williams heading into year 2.
Yeah.
What's kind of been your message to him over the course of this fall to kind of get him to prepare for that stage that he's about to set?
Ryan Williams is going to have a lot of eyes on him this season. What is your message to him going into this year 2 now that everybody knows that he's one of the best, if not the best receiver in college football?
Well, Ryan kind of does that himself. For his age, he is a very, very just mellow guy. Like, he can take it all in, and the moment's never too big. It's also probably what makes him a really good player when the big games hit, is that he won't melt in those situations. So I think that part is a little bit built in just because of who he is. Mm-hmm. But for him, he's still working on route running, inside, outside, wherever we put him, and just getting to be a better receiver.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I have seen kind of from an outside perspective with Ryan Williams is he's able to wear different hats very well, and not everybody can do that. He seems ultra mature. He seems very comfortable in his own skin. And whether he's, shooting a commercial for Hollister, whether he's doing a commercial for Beats by Dre, like he wears that hat very well. Whether he's streaming his video game like a like a teenager should, just be enjoying life, he has fun with it, right? He seems very likable. He's very personal. He does an amazing job on his podcast, right? He has that energy. He seems very respectful, right? He's a great big brother to his sister, right? To his family. And then on the field, the dude's able to turn it on and be somebody completely different and go into that realm to where it's game time. I am the man. I'm confident. He can make plays that we've never seen before. Look, I've covered a lot of guys within the last, this is my 10th season going in. Think about all the players that I've run through, even in that, almost a decade. Incredible dudes coming in. Memorable stories, right? Sometimes I think about writing a book just about my time being implemented here in Tuscaloosa and the things that I've seen, the players that I've seen, the storylines, all this stuff. Man, Ryan Williams is completely different than anybody else that I've ever covered here for many different reasons. No two players are the same, but there's something different about Ryan Williams, and whether that's off the field, but more importantly on the field, some of the plays still that I've seen, man, it still blows my mind. I've never seen plays like that from last year from anybody. Joe Crooms is saying, don't forget about Lazier. 100%. Yeah, that's another guy. By the way, he was seen him back over the last week. There's a small clip of him. I'll play that after real quick as we kind of look at some of the highlights from Tuesday. We continue with Ryan Grubb. I think he said, what do you need from the running game? That I couldn't even hear.
Yeah, I think, for us, it's really putting the stress on the offensive line and the tight ends, being physical up front and creating presence. I think when they do that, if we can establish the line of scrimmage, we certainly have the skill players on the outside. I think that the running game will be key to how far this season can go for us.
Did you hear what he just said? That was huge. I feel the running game will be the key to how far that we can go this season. How is that not like the quote of like that? Has anybody else like posted that? Damn. And why that is significant is because this guy has a narrative on him from the outside noise that says that he doesn't want to run the football, that he can't run the football, that he's just kind of a pass-heavy guy, that he didn't run the football with the Seahawks. That means he's not going to run the football here. He just said that if they can run the football, that's as far as Alabama can go. That is also why it is impactful that Alabama lost its starting running back going into week 1. So I think the blessing is you can weather the storm within these first 3 games, okay? Call it whatever you want to call it, right? It's one game at a time. But this is a perfect opportunity to get these other running backs up to speed because it is a gauntlet of a college football season. Yeah, do you have to win 16 games? Think about how many weeks you have to stay healthy to be able to win the championship, right? This isn't just 16 games back to back to back. There's so many weeks. There's so many games. So having your guys have experience in the front end of the season, right, is so important. So maybe that's the blessing in disguise with the running backs.
Besides Cam and Gino, has anybody impressed you stepping up at guard?
Besides Cam and Gino, who else has impressed you stepping up at guard for Alabama?
Michael Carroll played a little bit. Olas has done a nice job. So we got good depth there. Those 2 guys are probably the first 2 that stand out.
That's interesting to hear Olas Alanen, right, as a guard, and then also Michael Carroll. I've heard Carroll mentioned as guard and as tackle. That kind of shows his future versatility or maybe current. But I kind of look to, other high-level freshmen that have come in. Remember Evan Neal? Evan Neal came in his first season. He played guard before he played his natural position at tackle, right? And at that versatility screams future NFL-type player. But that shows you a lot about Michael Carroll. Probably a player that we haven't heard a lot of. We just don't hear that much about offensive linemen sometimes. It's not not a headline. But Michael Carroll, that's probably a really good nugget right there, that he's able to, be kind of that second, I guess maybe third tier guard, and knowing that his natural position, I would imagine, is tackle, right?
You talked about the difference in offense and being, Jalen Milroe offense. Is
Yep.
part of that less quarterback design runs? I know Ty can move.
Yeah.
But do you look to do that less with him, or?
Less quarterback designed runs, being that Jalen Milroe isn't here. The reporter also says, he knows Ty has athletic ability that he can run, but does that mean less quarterback runs? I don't know if you want to give away too much of your game plan by answering that question, but we clearly know Ty is an athlete. Ty can make plays, behind the line of scrimmage. Just wait. You're going to be blown away. He's going to have a highlight reel of making dudes miss. But he can run, but I don't, I'd be curious to see how he answers this question.
I mean, to a point, Ty is certainly capable of doing those things. I've just, probably philosophically, Mike Penix was a good runner. People wouldn't know that, but we didn't really run him until the playoffs or late, just because it's a long season. And, you're better off with your starter being able to throw the football in this offense than run it. We'll certainly look for those opportunities, because I think Ty is a good runner, and we'll make sure we have, things for him. But taking care of him, making sure that he's upright is important.
Yeah. Home run. Ryan Grubb with a home run. Yeah, that was exactly what I like to hear, is the fact that it's important to keep that he knows clearly his ability, but the most important thing for Ty to do is to throw the football. And they have running backs, right? They already have running backs. So it's about being the quarterback and making sure that you have your quarterback healthy for the duration of the season. Hey, you getting some nitty gritty there in the playoffs later on, SEC wherever this team can go. That's when, if you're healthy and you need to make a play, or you want to show something that the defense hasn't seen, then you might go to that. But you basically what he said is, like, we don't need for him to be a running back. We don't need to feature him on design runs, because we have the weapons and he's capable to do that. And we also have running backs in the stable.
He's getting stronger. He's getting there. I think that there was a little bit, of catch up early in camp because he wasn't in spring ball. So we're working on the sustainability of him staying on the field, just being in great shape.
I didn't even know I couldn't hear the reporter. I have no idea who he was asked about.
What progress have you seen from Jalen Mbakwe?
What progress have you seen from Jalen Mbakwe?
Catching. It's the first thing that comes to mind is, honestly, like, early in camp, he had some drops, and I think he's just getting more comfortable, honestly, playing the position and catching the football. He's doing a lot better job. There was probably first 3 practices, probably had 3 drops or so, and since then it just really hasn't come back up. So he's doing a good job.
All right, that was Ryan Grubb yesterday talking about his offense going into the season. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back, and we'll go over some player footage that the University of Alabama also released on Tuesday. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes. Thank you for watching Bama Football on YouTube. Be sure and like and subscribe. Turn on all notifications as Kyle posts daily videos regarding the Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Damn Tide. Be back in 1 minute. Those have to be the fastest commercials in history, right? I know what I'm doing. I have all my stuff organized. I like doing this. Yeah, I like being here. I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far, by the way. If you're on the rewatch, if you're driving, close your eyes. Picture me rolling. All right. Here we go. So this was footage sent out by the University of Alabama regarding, in this video, you see the wide receivers and you see the quarterbacks briefly, and you see the running backs. I'll turn the music down. And I see things, okay? I point them out. It is what it is, okay? This is a small window of Alabama's practice. So take it for what it is. Does anything stand out to you in this particular frame? I haven't even started the video. There's something that stands out to me. Can you see it? All right, this is trivia. What stands out to you? Does anything stand out to you from this particular frame? There's 4 wide receivers here. You got Jeremy Bernard. Looks like Isaiah Horton is behind him. You got Cole Adams and Ryan Williams. Does anything stand out to you from this frame? Just testing you guys. If you have to fill in for my job one day, what are you going to talk about? What stands out? Okay. All right, I'm going to tell you. Okay, if you guys can't see it. Something that stands out to me is Ryan Williams has his left foot taped. And within this particular frame and the small footage that we're about to see, we don't see Ryan Williams running through any of the drills. That's just something that stands out to me. Does that mean something's up with him? No, it's just, this is fact. He has a tape on his left foot, not his right, and he's not running through the drills. So, I don't know. Also stands out, this dude is completely jacked. I just saw these 2 guys the other night, Monday night. They're towers, bro. Like, they were massive, massive, massive dudes. All right, so that's one frame. All right, so Jeremy Bernard, look at the dude is diesel, man. He looks like he's like an NFL-type wide receiver already. Okay? See what else stands out to us. Here's our boy, Cole Adams. Ryan Grubb just said he's made a lot of contested catches. Isaiah Horton, 6'4". How did he even catch? What was crazy, look, usually you have to, look at the ball all the way in. It looks like he takes his eyes off, and he still catches it. How'd he do that? All right, here's Rico the Diesel, or Rico Suave, Scott, right? Man, good to see him. Here's Derek Meadows. Clearly, he stands out. Easy. Jalen Hell with the brace on. He looks great. In this particular frame, what stands out to me is 2 guys, this is an incredible story. One of the best stories in college football. And then you have Lazier Brooks back, 17 right here, who dealt with, I have no idea, something on a foot, but clearly he's back and he's nothing taped and, good to go, which is good to hear. Nice catch, by the way, Jalen. It's easy. These guys like Velcro. Lazier, easy. That's actually a tougher catch to make than it looks. I like those cleats, too, by the way. Jeremy Bernard, there's Jamarcus Shepard in the back. Nice catch. Cole Adams. See, what was standing out to me in this frame is just that I didn't see Ryan Williams going through these particular drills. Probably means nothing at all. It's just, that's fact. All right, Cole Adams, nice catch. Isaiah Horton, see there's our boy to the back. See, he's just kind of standing in the back. Good takeoff right here. Isaiah Horton, nice catch. Man, this dude's tall. Length, right? Absolute length for the wide receivers. And be thinking about that inside the comment box. My question, damn, what a catch. My question was, this is like my question for the day, I guess. Who has more catches this year, Cole Adams or Rico Scott? And if you think it's Jalen Hell, then put Jalen Hell. I'm just saying that who has, after the big 3, who's next for most receptions? I think that's a damn good question. Here's Jalen Hell. We got some, okay. Now you have footage of the running backs. This is Draylen Washington right here. This isn't the order that the running backs were going through. You'll see kind of the top of the order with Richard Young leading in a minute, but just that's how the footage that was sent in, that's how it works. You got, this is Kevin Riley right here. Grubb was complimentary of him, and this is A.K. Deer, okay? Behind him, you got, these are all walk-on, you got 3 walk-on running backs within this group. This is Richard Young, clearly, 9, right? So this is kind of the start of your running backs. Richard Young's a big dude. I think he's like 212, something like that. And look at this man. Daniel Hill. You want a heavy dose of Daniel Hill? We don't have a lot of footage of him other than that, but man, Daniel Hill is a big, big man. There's Robert Gillespie. This is Jalen Washington. So at least within the rotation, it's Richard Young, Daniel Hill, and Jalen Washington, like I'm sure you've seen on all of your sites that, cover the team. Damn, you know what? Look at the first step of Kevin Riley right here, okay? The difference. So this is Daniel Hill. Okay, good, right? Good. Watch Jalen Washington come out. I'm talking about like the quick burst. Watch 28. He's coming up next. Just watch. Watch this. He's fast, right? He's got a very quick first step. And that's something that Coach Kalen DeBoer spoke about, was just the fact that he's got speed. Out of the different guys, he's got the most shake and probably the most burst. So that's kind of a small look at the running back room. I know it's not a lot of a heavy size. I actually like the footage, though, that was sent in. I think we're going to quarterbacks next. So you have the 3 quarterbacks, and as coach, as an offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb said, all the quarterbacks fared well in this scrimmage. A couple more shots of the wide receivers. There's Rico. There's Derek. But, I guess he said, I think Ryan Grubb said, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said that Ty was 12 of 15, right? Because we had heard 14 of 15. I think I had reported 15 of 16. And it looked like from the OC, he was 12 of 15 with a couple drops, right? That's what he said for the scrimmage. Whatever. Look at this pass right here, Boston. That's nice, man. By the way, 42, you look real good. Here are quarterbacks. I'm saying, look, I don't want to throw some rat poison out there too early, but I'm kind of feeling that you do see the quarterbacks, all of them, in week 2. And I think you'll see all the quarterbacks in the opportunities that they get, because they have to get these quarterbacks reps. I don't think it's just going to be Ty. That was one of the things about Coach Saban. Coach Saban would ride the starters out through, most of the games, just because and I always wondered about this, and Saban did say you have to have these guys 4-quarter ready. But I think because college football has changed so much, you have to get more players reps, if you can, if the game is out of reach or whatever, because the season is so long and because of risk of injury, right? So you have to have all these guys kind of repping as starters is my point, because it's such a long season. I don't know. What's up, Oscar? Good to have you here, bro. All right, I'm going to come back next, and what we'll do is I'll open it up for just some questions. You have something you want to point out. You have a question about Alabama football, you want to make a bold prediction, something that stood out. We'll do that right coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Alabama fans, question of the day, inside the comment box. Who has more catches this year, Cole Adams or Rico Scott? Sound off inside the comment box or simply give a roll tide. So stupid. All right, I'm almost done, fam. Can you guys hear me on the other side? Other side of the pillow? All right. Remember, today's raffle is $10 to get in, up to 3 times for this Rowback hoodie. I've seen Coach Kalen DeBoer wear it a couple times. So you want to get in. Venmo is Bama_YouTube. My last 4 digits are 5953, same as my name, Kyle. On Cash App, it's Bama YouTube. We'll spin the pinwheel probably on Monday. Chris from New Jersey says, sound like Urkel. Remember, who watched Family Matters? Do you guys watch Family Matters? All right, now it's your comments. Throw it up on the board. We'll kick it for a little while. Yeah, Kevin, I got you on Venmo. Thank you so much, bro. And I know you're battling a little bit, bro, so keep battling, dude. Keep doing your thing. Let's see. Ryan is saying the Adams more receptions. Oh, Rico more yardage. Ooh, I like that, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, dog. All right, let's bring this a little bit to the front. All the editing is done in-house by your boy. I literally do all the stuff that you see on screen. So, all right, that looks good. All right. Did I do that? Yeah, Urkel, that was his thing, man. Yeah, Family Matters. Of course I watched Family Matters. I was up in Chicago. Family Matters was a good show. All right, so MC, yeah, what's up, Marcus? You tried to change your username on me. Rico might have more catches, but it sounds like Cole will have more contested catches. Okay. Jawan's like, hit the like button. Thanks, dog. Appreciate the support, man. Game Dean is asking where I get this shirt. So this particular shirt, I got it at Dick's Sporting Goods here in Tuscaloosa. I was checking out. I was getting like a water bottle or something like that from my daughter. I don't know what I was doing there. And I saw it on the sales rack as I was rolling out. So it was like, because Dick's can be pretty expensive, right? But I think this particular shirt was like $35. I've tried to get it. They do have it on Team Fanatics, but it's sold out in all the sizes. So, but I know a lot of people like the shirt. I like it because it's like the military stuff. You know, I'm real big into that. But Team Fanatics or Dick's Sporting Goods, you know, the Dick's Sporting Goods here has a lot of gear, but so does Walmart out in Northport. Rocket Town says Cole Adams is fast. Yeah, Kevin, I got you, dog. You're in my prayers, bro. Watch it, Ole Miss in Georgia from 2024. Yeah, see, this is what happens from. I'm in that point too, where you start watching just like random college football games from like last year. You're watching preseason games in the NFL, which is fine. That's just how hungry we are for football, right? A33 says it's time to settle on the field. See, that's what I just said, Ethan. Ethan's like, am I the only one? That's where we're at, bro. Like I just watched, I don't know, it was on TV. Vanderbilt and Alabama from last year. That's why I always talk about that game, how hard Vanderbilt was hitting, right? Jordan Roberts. I thought this was Jaden Roberts, bro. What's up, Jordan Roberts? Says, Cole is the guy when you need him on third down conversions. Ooh, I like that, yeah. That's a coaching mind right there. I like that. Marcus in St. Pete says, which side of the ball is going to be more impactful to Alabama this season, the offense or the defense? Damn. That's a good question, dog. I'll say defense. I think defense will be able to come up with enough plays, enough stops to let the offense shine, right? I don't think the defense will have letdowns, and that's putting a lot of pressure on the defense. That's a good question, though. That was tough to answer. Dude, I haven't heard anything on the transfer tight ends. I haven't heard anything on Samarco or Brody Dalton. Maybe that's by design. Maybe the coaches aren't talking about those guys because they're like, oh, yeah, these are our tight ends. Those guys are massive. And if you look up like a, scouting report on Brody Dalton or Jackson Marco, a lot of things talk about these guys being able to be sure-handed tight ends in the red zone. So I don't know. Let's see. Kevin was at Dick's Sporting Goods in Hoover last week and had a ton of Batman swag. Yeah, they do. They really do. But I'm telling you, this Walmart over here in Northport goes hard. Let's see. I keep a list of the best games regardless of conference from the previous season. Mike G is saying, is Florida State a must-win game? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think, look, can you recover from a week one, blunder on the road? Sure. But this is Alabama. And I think considering what happened last year, look, I know what happened after Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. Like, it was so hard for people to emotionally move on. I'm still talking about it, almost a year later. Yeah, so when you look at Florida State a must-win, 100%. This is a 1,000,000% must-win game. You can recover from it, but yeah, this is you talk about a letdown, the internet exploding. Yeah, that'll happen. College football starts this week with week 0. Yep, finally. Dustin Davis says the great Jimmy Stein predicted Texas to win the Natty. All right, I didn't see that. Jimmy Stein's great. Man, kind of put the pressure on Texas, right? I mean, it's going to be, you know what's going to be crazy is if they don't win it, right? Man, because they have every single thing like lined up for them. They do have a challenging schedule. I will say they go on the road. Texas has a tough schedule. Georgia plays a tough schedule. They host most of their tough games. Alabama has, the SEC don't play with the scheduling. I know Pate has picked Bama to beat Texas in the SEC title game. Each of those teams will be in the playoffs, right? Yeah, but I mean, Texas has all their components. I mean, come on. Let's see. Dustin's like, DeBoer's seat will be hot. I would agree. Yeah, it's good. Look, that's the type. Look, that's it. You can't go into a game on the road, and a lot of that. Let's just say, just looking on the side of the coin, you lose, right? But what happened? If they were to lose, was it run fits? Was it inconsistency at the quarterback play? Was it a special teams meltdown? Like, what was it? Was it that they weren't ready to? That probably will make you the most mad if they're not ready to play. Now, right, or being like out coached. But if these guys aren't ready to play, then that's super cause for concern. But I don't see that at all. Like that. It's the buy-in. It's the mentality. Like these guys are. I bet you if these guys could play this game this Saturday. But it sounds like you still got to get the running backs, a little bit more confidence with the running backs, and the special teams needs to tighten up. But the only way that special teams is going to be ready is to actually perform in games. Right? J. Cole's like, we got to win this game, 100%. What's up? Tide will rise says this game will tell us where we are just as a team, my opinion. It's just a long season, right? I'm with you, I'm with you, A33. Got it. All right, fam. Well, I appreciate you guys kicking it with me today, right here on this beautiful Wednesday, August 20th. You got Kane Womack at the podium later today, so either we'll do a nightcap tonight, I might stream. We'll see what's up. And if not, we'll break it down kind of similar way with Kane Womack tomorrow on the 21st. Man, we're getting closer. Just hang in there. I know whether you're watching Family Matters, reruns, or last season highlights, keep going, keep moving, keep powering forward as we get closer to the college football season. I sincerely appreciate all you guys kicking it with me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. If you want to get into the raffle, it's $10, up to 3 opportunities for this rollback hoodie. We'll spin it next Monday. Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App Bama YouTube. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll be here as news happens. Follow our Facebook page as well for some good content. And enjoy your life. Stay blessed. Be grateful for your opportunities. And as always, roll damn Tide. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Wednesday, August 20th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam. Love you.
Have a case of the Wednesdays? You could always rewatch Alabama put it on Auburn from last season. Give a roll damn Tide inside the comment box. We'll catch you as news happens right here on Bama